And these metal organic frameworks come from DARPA hydrogel that includes quantum dots, graphene quasicrystals, graphene oxide, and a host of other nanotech, a witch's brew of metal organic framework holding all of this nanotech within hydrogel that can be injected and programmed to self-assemble via crystallization.
Right? They're broadening it across illnesses and other vaccines.
Right, because COVID shots have no uptake anymore. By the way, recently Catalent, which was Moderna fill finish supplier, their revenue went down by 50%. They're about to go under because nobody's buying COVID shots.
They made their money, right? They made their money.
Well, they kind of made their money, but they also expanded because they expected Moderna was going to give them all this COVID business, and COVID business went away. Nobody's taking them, which is good news. We've educated public enough about that. The next step, they're going to put it everywhere in all other injections.
Thank you.
And in fact, I've just recently talked to David Nixon. They found it in Australia in dental anesthetic.
So what we've got on the screen here is a drop of dental anesthetic drying out. Okay, so this is the process starting. And it's quite a dramatic process, as you will see. Now, clearly this is not normally how liquids dry. Yeah.
At all and entirely. And your eye will be drawn in very many different directions. Just let it go there because there's a lot going on. But think about the amount of mass that's being transferred. This has a lot more energy than just a drying process. This is another process entirely. This is an organization and a formation. This is a really active one.
It is. Going.
It knew it was being filmed, so it's decided to show.
Should perform. Yeah, so we're seeing this meniscus or this edge form and the bubbles within it. And it seems to be less active now that it's joined up. And there's a number of different sizes of bubbles visible. And obviously we can see layers of the bubbles. So what's going to happen is it's going to condense and it's going to crystallize.
And is it true that big bubbles they combine together and then they turn into little bubbles, or do the little bubbles get together and make bigger bubbles?
Bigger bubbles, yep, and then the bigger bubbles appear to condense on the edges of the crystals.
Ah, look, there's a chip forming. There's another one, there's another one, there's another one.
Yeah, so as opposed to where I was doing this yesterday, in this environment, there's a lot more EMF, and certainly found that encourages more of the chip formation.
And how many minutes in are we now? Maybe 3.5 minutes?
Yes, man, something like that, not long. So we'll just zoom in on that one in the middle there, and then I'll have a look at the one in the bottom. There's also one out to the side here that looks interesting.
It frankly looks lonely. And as David focuses in here, I'll remind people that this is not a remedy of any kind. This is just an anesthetic with one job to do, which is to numb you out. And why is it doing this is a compelling question to ask. How is this beneficial in anesthetizing your mouth?
So I'm going to go double magnification and just have a closer look at that. Probably got 2 donuts there. Unbelievable. And so this was from just one tiny drop of dental anesthetic.
On a happy note, I did notice that someone put a video up on BitChute that showed chips forming from anesthetics. So at least another person is looking at this.
Oh, good. Was that on YouTube, did you say?
No, it was on BitChute.
Oh, BitChute.
And there was no narration or anything. I think they wanted to stay anonymous, which is fine, but they definitely showed it.
Yeah, that's quite something, isn't it? There's a big donut in the middle.
Seems to be growing.
Yeah, look at that. Wow.
And now that donut is making something squarish, it looks like.
Yes.
I hope that people will comment and tell us what they see too.
Yes.
Well, it's from a shot. It's not from a vaccine or a so-called vaccine. This is actually from an anesthetic for dental work. So this is my appeal to the entire Microscope army. It's not just in the shots. It's in a bunch of other products, and I think we need to get a whole army of people with microscopes starting to look at every single product that may be going into the human body to make sure that it's clean. This is in a dental anesthetic.
We can go back more than 10 years ago where they were talking about the miraculous benefits of graphene oxide and how graphene can be used in pharmaceuticals. And, you know, we found over the past 2 years, because people have started digging, that it's being found in women's sanitary items, that it's being found in water, in various food items. So they've been putting this stuff in us for years.
How about face masks and COVID-19 swabs?
Yes.
Maria?
Yes, absolutely. They've been putting this in us for years, but never in the amount that we have seen over the past couple of years as well with weather warfare. I don't know what your stance is on that, but it's definitely happening. And so, you know, where pathologists have told me we're finding this in the blood of those who haven't had the injections, it makes perfect sense to me. How? Especially if you're talking about other pharmaceutical products having this in them, Matt.